All right, Oval fans. So the mid-season finale, unfortunately, it was mid. The only parts of the episode I actually cared for pertain to the Richard, Nancy, and Sam storyline, which is kind of sad because really that's the beginning of the episode and then the end of the episode. And that's pretty much it. Everything else that went on at the White House, I couldn't have given two craps about. And this episode turned out exactly how I feared it would, in that it really wouldn't pay off much of anything. That we have to wait until the next half of the season, which probably won't come until October or something like that, in order for us to get follow-up. Because I said, yeah, based on the promo, I don't think we're actually going to get the next day. You know, I thought maybe this episode would end with the National Guard strike force coming in at 6 a.m. But no, it's all the same night. Which, I mean, let's be real, shouldn't be surprising because that's been the pacing of the Oval for the longest time. But I just don't feel like season 6 is going to measure up to the expectations that I had after we were already several episodes in, and I was finding myself extremely intrigued. I mean, if you go back to my episodes 1 through 8 reviews, I said, dang, we got some bangers back to back to back. But here we go where things just come to a screeching halt. And the mid-season finale, what did I say? I said season 5 had the same thing. Started off strong. But then when we got to like the 100th episode, which was like the 9th episode of the season, that's when things took a turn for the worst. The same dang thing happened here. 1 through 8, bangers. Episode 9, not so good. Episode 10, it was even worse in the mid-season finale. I don't even know if I'm excited for the back half of the season. I'm just sitting here like, man, this... okay. But we're here now. We made it through the first half of the season. And like I said, we probably won't get the back half for quite a while. So let me go ahead and I'll get through this review. And I won't do another Oval video for quite a while. So before moving into the actual review and breakdown, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. So, Richard is getting arrested and Nancy is all too happy to spill her guts out to the police at the station saying, oh, yeah, he stabbed his father and he tried to strangle me. Yeah, lock him up, throw away the key. Sam is trying to get her to calm down. But every time he tries to, Nancy just throws in his face like, you know, oh, what are you going to do? Hey, why don't you go ahead and go find the first lady because you were messing with her. And then Dale is like shocked, like, the first lady? Oh, this is crazy. Nancy, keep your voice down. The neighbors can hear. I don't give a dang. Yeah, hey, I'm trying not to use that language for, you know, monetization purposes. But I love how Sam is like, could you all take Nancy in the house? Sharon's like, she ain't going to listen to us. And I'm like, for the first time in a while, that's like the smartest thing we've heard Sharon say, because usually he's like, Dale, we have to like stop her. Let's try to calm her down. Now she realizes, oh, okay, yeah, there really is nothing we can do. So in the midst of this, you have Nancy saying, you know what? Hey, we're going to go down to the police station right now. So they go back in the house. And after that, you got Nancy who's yelling at Sharon and Dale because they were inside cleaning up the mess that, you know, Nancy made. Like, no, what are you all doing? That's evidence. And Sharon's like, Miss Nancy, this isn't evidence from anything. You were the one who tore this house up. No, because it's going to be evidence I'll use against Richard to have him locked up for good. Yeah, for everything he did. And then Sam comes back in and she's like, what the hell are you doing here, Sam? I thought I told you to leave. Nancy, are you sure you want to go through with this? Like, you know, it's like, you don't know who I am? Yeah, I don't. All the church and God and stuff like that, and the way you acting right now. Oh, yeah, what's your God, Sam, huh? What about you, the way you hurt Priscilla? Go find the first lady. Listen, you don't want to go through with this. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to go down to that police station. and I'm going to tell him everything. It's not going to go the way you think. Oh, yes, it is. Well, I realize there's no talking to you about this at all. Yeah, you should have figured that out. Dale, hey, don't you threaten him. He one of my witnesses because he saw what Richard did. And Dale's like, you going to say anything? No. Look, I don't want to have anything to do with this. Yeah, hey, Dale, I got you that car. You going to say something? And then check your phone. So Dale checks his phone because I have nothing to do with this. And Sam's like, yes, you do. You are in this. So as soon as he leaves, Dale looks at his phone. Nancy's like, what's on the phone? Oh, he didn't send me anything. And then Nancy goes upstairs to get her things to go to the police station. So then when Nancy is out of earshot, Sharon's like, what did he send you? Nothing. I know you're lying, Dale. It's a picture of a very bad man. The man that killed my parents. Now, if memory serves, didn't Kyle tell Dale the same thing? Yeah, I think Kyle used this as leverage, like, Dale, you better come over to my place because if you don't, I want to tell this guy where you live. And I think he even sent Dale a photo of his parents killed, saying that dude, apparently this is like a pimp or something that Dale worked for at the time. And unless the continuity is completely not related to Ruthless anymore, this is a lie because we know that Paula and Lacey, more specifically, Lacey was the one that killed Dale's parents at their cabin. But yeah. So Dale pretty much knows this is leverage. Like, okay, I can't talk, or else Sam is going to tell this guy where I am. So he's like, I gotta get out of here. No, come on, hey, Sharon. Dale. No, we can't leave. You can't leave. You got to stop running. And I'm thinking to myself, Sharon, no, there's been way too much going on. Dale is standing there with a bloody nose because he's just caught up in too much mess. But hey, Sam tried to tell his behind a while ago that, you better leave. Like, what was it when Dale was spending the night? And contact me. Why would I do that? Tell me that man that was in bed with Nancy comes back. Why? Do you want to be under this roof when Richard comes back here and finds out what's going on? Yeah, good point. So yeah, Dale, he did the right thing. Dale did what he should have done a while ago. He got in that car and drove off. Now, come to find out, actually, Sharon tries to do another thing. It's like, hey, well, why don't you come down to the police station and tell the police about, that photo and everything. It's like, Sam works for the Secret Service. Do you really think if I go down to that police station, say, hey, this dude from the Secret Service sent me this photo of this guy who's like threatening to kill me, they'll do anything? Sharon's like, yes. And it's like, Sharon, do you really, for as long as you have been in the show and involved with crazy stuff where these people in political positions even used you as a pawn to try to control your life, do you really think going down to the police station is the best idea? How many times has Sharon tried running to the authorities and that worked out for her? Not so many times at all. So Dale, he is doing the right thing. Because to be honest, when he got that photo on the phone, I thought it was like the head of that cartel. Now, this might be a long reach for some of you all because I don't blame you if you don't remember, but wasn't it last season when Kareem's cousin found out that dude from Secret Service, Alonzo, took all the drugs from the pharmacy, which weren't really, licensed legal drugs, but each package was actually, illegal drugs for different customers, and the cartel was pissed off. So they had to find a fall guy, and Kareem's cousin took a picture of Dale saying it's his fault. So it's like the cartel's on your ass now. Sorry about this. Then he bounces. So at this point, I thought it was something related to that, but no. Did they just drop that entire storyline? I don't know. So from there, we go down to the police station. I'm just talking about the good stuff first because trust and believe, when it comes to the White House stuff, that's going to be only a couple minutes of conversation. But in any case, over at the police station, and this is my favorite part here, you got Sam talking with Richard. He gets the cuffs off him. He's like, hey, so, if Nancy tries to burn you, I got to burn her too. So I'm just letting you know. And Richard's like, do what you got to do. This is all because of her. Do it. Because look, you said you put yourself on the line for me to cover up, what happened to my father. So here's what we're going to do. I don't want that to be flushed down the drain because then you're going to be in it. So you do what you got to do and we'll go from there. So Nancy and Sharon are in the waiting area, and Nancy sees Sam come out of a back room and walk, across the floor. And Like, what's he doing here? And Sharon's like, well, he is, law enforcement, so it makes sense he'd be here. So Nancy starts going in on, I can't believe that boy ran away. Like, after everything I did, you know what? I bought him that car. It's like, well, Miss Nancy, you don't know him that well. Well, whatever. I bought him that car. I'm going to sue him. Yep, I'm going to sue. And in the midst of this, Sharon tries to say, you need to calm down. I was like, that ain't going to do anything. I feel the same way regardless. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Just sit here and be quiet. So then she gets a phone call. I thought it was Dale at first, but it turns out it was Sam saying, is she still going through with it? Yes. Okay. Well, I do what I got to do. What's that mean? Don't worry. You're going to be okay. Just don't worry about it. It's all on her. So after she gets off the phone, who was that? My sister? I know that was Sam. Yeah, it was. So like clockwork, not even 2 seconds later, they're paid a visit by the assistant DA who wants to talk with Nancy in the back. And she's like, hey, can Sharon come with me? What is she? She's like close to the family. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, why exactly? Oh yeah, well, Sharon could be a witness to what Richard did, but whatever. So they go to the back room and the assistant DA wants to know, what's going on. And Nancy, what does she do? She blabs about the whole, Richard killed his father and stabbed him and right in front of me. And he even tried to strangle me. You see the bruises? No, I don't see any bruises, but there are some questions I'd like to ask you. Oh, go ahead. Because at first, Nancy's just running her mouth. But then as soon as the assistant DA tries to get some information, so I understand you are saying this was between your husband and your father-in-law, his father. So what exactly was the nature of the rage between them, like the friction? And Nancy doesn't want to pipe up about that, pun intended. I was like, oh, well, it's a long story. Well, we have plenty of time, so feel free to tell me. And when Nancy doesn't want to talk about the details because, it doesn't matter, she pulls out a phone and shows a video. What? Where'd you get that? Well, as you said, it doesn't matter. Well, this is evidence because we're very curious about how your father-in-law, his underwear had your DNA on it. Would you like to explain how that happened? What? And here, what is it? That's not me. That's not me at all. That's a doctor video. Well, it's evidence, and you're under arrest. I don't know why, but I was like, you know what? This episode was something else because I hate to see people take a fall like this for something they didn't do, but given the circumstances, have at it, because it felt so good to see at least one of these females in this show get a comeuppance that was well deserved. Because look, I got my issues with Priscilla, I got my issues with Lily, and as much as I love her, I have my issues with Simone. But Nancy is arguably one of the worst, and I'm not saying this acting wise, I'm not saying this about, anything like that, but I mean, one of the worst characters in the show in terms of her personality, because like everybody points out, man, a lot of the issues in this show come back to her. Callie getting abducted by Ruth and the Rackadushis, that was because of Nancy, because Barry had a restraining order, visitation rights and everything were revoked. And what did Nancy do? Let Ruth into the house to play with Callie, and then she was bombarded with like half a dozen Rackadushi members, and she was taken. And then, of course, one event led to another, and Barry got killed. So, yeah, she's to blame for everything, for a majority of things. But, this was satisfying. And if nothing else, seeing Nancy take the fall, this, to me, is worth watching some of the second half for. My biggest thing was Sam, okay, if Sam decides to do something, will Nancy get in contact with Priscilla? And then Priscilla finds out about what's going on and then uses her connections to get Nancy off. I would hate to see that happen, but it's probably what's going to happen, because I don't know exactly what they'll do with Nancy at this point. Either she's going to contact, because Priscilla is going to check on Nancy, but when she doesn't hear about, what's going on, like, wait, why is she at the house? Like, where's Dale? And then maybe Sharon will talk about what's happening, and, Priscilla will go down to the police station. I don't know. I know Sam told me that if I told on Richard, then it wouldn't turn out the way I think. So I feel like then they'll start fighting over that bull crap. But hey, Nancy did what she did, and now she's paying for it. So, Dale. So Dale, he calls Alan again. Apparently he got a new phone, so it's not like he's calling from the same line, but he's still calling, Alan's work number. And he asked to stay with him for the night. Alan's like, no. It's like, please, there's a lot going on one night. And Alan's like, fine. So the moment it's like, hey, yeah, I got this new phone, so you know who won't be able to listen in. So as soon as Alan hangs up, Kyle comes in the door. Basically, it's the same. It's like for the 20th time this season, I know you're hiding something. No, I'm not, Kyle. Oh, I know you are. And then Donald comes in. What's going on here? Oh, nothing, sir. Well, yeah, I need you to go home, get some rest, and eat you here at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like, damn, an hour before the National Guard comes. Hope Alan doesn't get caught in the crossfire. So as soon as Alan leaves, Kyle and Donald just have the same little chat about nothing. You shouldn't trust that kid. Kyle, don't worry about it. What's it about? And obviously we all know that Donald isn't pleased about Kyle's involvement with Dale, so if Kyle tells him about what Alan has really going on, then Donald will get jealous and kill Dale. So, like I said, there's nothing in this conversation we haven't heard 15 times already this season. Now, there are only 3 more scenes to talk about. Okay, so Donald goes to the guest room that Victoria's staying in. So she's ignoring Eli's calls because she's still butthurt over the fact that Eli treated her like, what she is, a side piece. I can't believe he talked to me like that. So Donald comes in, and basically at this point, Victoria doesn't care. She is choosing to sit on the sidelines, let Hunter and Eli go at it, and if they both, end up taking each other out, she's going to still be Queen Bee at the end of it because she has faith that her father is going to pull for her. And Donald's like, why don't you call him? No. Well, why hasn't your father contacted you in the past, 12 hours? I don't know. You don't think, because he either doesn't know about what's going on or the fact that maybe something worse. Like, seriously, at this point, just say that Victoria's father is dead because it's just way too much stuff that's been going on for the past 3 seasons and he has done absolutely nothing. We only saw him in that one episode at the end of season 2. Bro already looked like he was halfway in the grave. So at this point, come on now. This is ridiculous. So yeah, Victoria's just saying, hey, leave it to your own devices. Donald is just done with her. And that's pretty much it. Then we go over to the Oval Office. And Simone is trying to, be there to support Eli. And I will say this was a pretty interesting exchange because Simone talks about how Eli has a knack for freezing up when things get dramatic. Like, for example, he froze up during a debate. He froze up when she was going into labor. He froze up, just recently when they were upstairs and the gunfire happened. So you're president now, so you got to start acting like it. He didn't like being talked to like that. So then he throws Bobby in her face. The thing about Simone that is annoying me, it isn't just her refusal to admit to her affair to Bobby, to Eli, but the fact that, Lily and Priscilla obviously know, but she's still acting like, we didn't do anything. No. And speaking of affairs, when Donald was talking to Victoria, why in the hell are they acting like it's a surprise that Hunter knows about Eli and Victoria? Because of the fact that, remember, he stumbled, literally, he was on crutches. He stumbled into the Oval Office, saw these two making out, and while he was on the floor, they were gloating to him about how, Hunter, you're nothing but a pawn. We're going to cast you out at some point, and I'm going to be ruling the country alongside Eli. So I don't know why it's like, Hunter knows everything. Why is this a thing? Sheesh. Okay, so in any case, Simone is in her feelings about the Bobby thing. Max is told to bring Bobby up in the Oval Office. This was a sneak peek. I didn't even feel like doing a video on it, even though I did like how Bobby stood his ground and went in on Eli about the disrespect, about making all these crude assumptions about him and his wife. So it's funny when Simone smacks Eli and it's like, some detail you are. You just let her hit the president and you did nothing. Max like, oh, sorry, sir. And when Bobby leaves, Eli looks at Max and Max like, yeah, sorry, we are stressed. Get out, Max. Okay. So when they're out in front of the Oval Office door, they're chatting about the same old. Well, Bobby, that was his speech. Well, I got sick of him. He deserved it. You're right. So then, because Eli's like, Bobby, you take my wife home and F her. Wait, what? And it's like, yeah, you go home and continue the affair. Yes, sir. What did you just say? I said, yes, sir. So they get Agent Kane to watch the door because Bobby didn't want to take Simone home and Max said you ought to. So they pretty much go together. And when Bobby goes to find Simone, who is talking with Priscilla because she's upset over the way Eli just spoke to her and whatnot. But again, you cheated on him. Hey, but he cheated first. I'm not denying that, but it's like, why are you constantly acting like you didn't do anything? So then they're talking. Bobby comes in saying, hey, your details, the motorcade's ready, let's go. Then Lily pops up out of nowhere. And you know what? I will say Bobby is what made this scene work for me, because the girls were just sitting around. And I say girls because it's like they're high school hens just exchanging gossip, because Bobby's like, look, we need to go. Lily, is trying to get him to stay. And then Simone's like, no, I ordered. That's an order. And it's like, wow. So then Lily just tells the entire story about how Donald hired Bobby, and then they had sex in the bathroom and this, that, and the third. My favorite bit is the fact that Bobby didn't just stand there and take it. He's like, he fired back on all three of the women, even Simone, because yet again, she's acting like she didn't have sex with him at all. The fact that Bobby did have feelings for Lily, was trying to protect her. Priscilla admits to using Bobby, and Simone is just acting like she's innocent in all this. But he literally went in. I'll say Bobby, I will give him props for that. So you know what? Instead of a 4, I will bump this episode up to a 6. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10, because Bobby going in on the women, that to me was the best part. So after that, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So the mid-season finale, yeah, it was a little bit better than I originally thought when starting the video. But like I said, the only highlights were the Richard, Nancy, Sam stuff, and Bobby telling off the women, and Eli. So with that being said, I guess we'll be returning to this show later this year. Let me know your thoughts on the first half of season 6. I'm not even going to bother doing a retrospective video like I usually do. Hey, let's talk about the first half of the Oval, because the first 3 minutes of this video tell it all. It started off promising, but no, the highlights were Hunter actually doing stuff, but they really just slowed down the pace for no reason. But hey, there you go. So with that being said, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.